One of the problems with having been away from doing videos for so long, other than the reason that I've been away from doing videos for so long, is that so much has come up and I keep wanting to talk about various topics, and I have trouble narrowing down which ones I should prioritize. So let's start with some good news. Hey, that Colorado bakery case was finally solved in the Supreme Court. And the reality is that the reason I'm making this video in the first place is because there's a good chance that a lot of people listening, of the 3 or 4 people listening, might listen to this and wonder why it's good news. The interesting thing about this, for me anyway, has been the coverage of it, because they keep calling it a narrow ruling, but a lot of people who are responding to this, both on the pro-LGBT side and the anti-LGBT side, are ignoring exactly why the ruling was considered narrow and what the case actually said. So the version that everyone is reporting on, or most people are reporting on anyway, is the version where the cake shop in Colorado just won the ability to discriminate against gay customers, and this has opened up the floodgates for intolerance everywhere, and the LGBT community is screwed because now you can finally refuse to serve gay people at your shop of choice. And that's really not the case. The whole narrow ruling thing comes down to a single point. And admittedly, I think that the majority view here is still bullshit, because they examined the case and they came down on this little tiny ruling about how the governing body, I forget what they were called, but a regulation council or something like that, had been prejudicial against religion in general, and so they ruled in favor of the cake shop. But even in the majority view, it was still sort of, they shouldn't discriminate, and it appears to actually validate the anti-discrimination laws in California, which should be a boon for future cases, which is why I'm calling this good news. Now, this isn't guaranteed, and there's no guarantee that we're not going to see another case come before the Supreme Court with a different outcome. And it doesn't mean that there aren't going to be problems, because there have already been businesses who have put up "No Gays Allowed" signs, and they think they can get away with it, and maybe those cases will reaffirm that, although given the Supreme Court ruling, it seems very likely that it won't. And maybe, arguably, it's kind of sad that I take this sort of thing as a victory, but considering the environment that we've been in for quite some time, I think even the fact that it wasn't swatted down in a 5-4 decision is a piece of positive news in and of itself. At least it lets us live to fight another day, so to speak. But at the very least, at the absolute minimum, this is not the devastating blow to the LGBT population that's being made out to be by a good number of pundits and news sources and randos on the internet. And while it's not the best possible news, it's not the best possible outcome, I'll take it. Thanks for listening. Amaranth out.